Hey guys, it's Danielle Diva Q Bennett, and today I'm making a salted caramel apple cheesecake galette. To start this recipe, make sure you've got your Traeger grill going at 350 degrees. And then it's only all about assembly, super easy. Start off with some apple pie filling, grab a bowl, and mix it with a little bit of cinnamon, because cinnamon makes everything taste better. All sorts of deliciousness. This is a super versatile recipe because if you don't like apples, you can do this with cherries. You've got lots of options to make this pie your own. Baking on the grill is super easy on a Traeger. I love the fact that you get a little bit of wood-fired flavor in there, and it's all sorts of deliciousness. So we've got the apples, the apple pie filling, we've got the cinnamon, and we're just gonna mix that all up, and then we're gonna just do something really simple. We're gonna set it aside. So the next step is to assemble the cheesecake component of this pie. So grab a bowl, or if you have a stand mixer at home, you can do it there. My cream cheese is really soft. So the first ingredient is cream cheese. So take your cream cheese, nice and soft, throw it in your bowl or your stand mixer, your choice. Grab a nice whisk and get your sugar in there. You're gonna get this a little fluffy. It'll come together a lot nicer if you have it a little bit fluffy. Make sure you mix it up really well, making sure that you get any clumps out of there. You're gonna add in an egg, some whipping cream, and some vanilla to the table as well. So take your egg, crack it in the bowl, make sure there's no shells in it, throw that in there. Whipping cream, throw that in there. Vanilla. Vanilla is great. You can also change this out for rum or even bourbon if you want. I'm a big fan of the bourbon part. And then we've got a little bit of cornstarch. Cornstarch is a really important ingredient because it'll actually keep everything kind of stable. If you don't have cornstarch at home, you can always substitute this in for flour. So we've got everything in the bowl here, and we're just gonna give it a really good mix and bring everything to the table. This recipe came about because I love making pies. I love desserts on the grill, but I'm a horrible, and I mean horrible, pie crust maker. So to make life really easy for all of us, this recipe involves store-bought pie crust. If you are one of those extraordinarily talented people at home and you can make pie crust, you go right ahead. So we've got our ingredients here in our bowl. We're giving it a good whisk up, getting all those little lumps out. And then once we have it all brought to the table, mixed up, we're gonna set that aside. We're gonna talk about pastry next. So in my house, store-bought pastry is completely acceptable. So I've got my cutting board all set here. I'm gonna take a little bit of flour, just a little bit, and I'm gonna roll out a pie crust so it's nice and thin. Here's a pie crust I've got, store-bought, and all I wanna do is I just wanna roll it out a little bit thinner. So it should be a 9-inch pie crust. They sell them in the store pre-made, but you wanna roll it out a little bit just to get it a little bit thinner. Now, one of the benefits of going to the grill is you can actually put on a Traeger grills, you can put parchment paper, or what I like to do, something a little cooler, is use the Traeger paper, because I just think it looks really fun to look at. So we've got our pie crust, nice and thin. We're gonna lay it down on a cut piece of Traeger paper. Super simple and easy, and then we just have to layer in our ingredients. We've got our pie crust, it's all thinly laid out. We've got our cream cheese filling right here, nicely mixed. And all you wanna do is you wanna take this and you wanna pour this in the middle of the pie crust, just like that. If you're having a party, one of the great things is you can actually assemble these all the day before, throw them in the fridge, and then just throw them on the grill right before your party. It only takes 30 to 40 minutes to bake this, so super simple. Spread it out just a little bit, making sure to leave a 2 to 3 inch gap all the way around, because we're actually gonna fold in the edges when we're all done. Now, once that's spread out, go back to those apples you seasoned up with all of that delicious cinnamon. And the next step you're gonna do is you're gonna layer in the apples on top of the cream cheese. Lots of apples, lots of goodness, layered up in the middle. The next step is one of the easiest ones. For me, because I'm not a great pie crust maker, this is why I like rustic pies on the grill. Because all you have to do is actually take the edges and fold them up. Super easy and simple. Rustic is a great word. Rustic is great for people like me who can't make pie crusts. Gently bring up the sides. It looks pretty already. The next stage is something I like to do, and that is to add a little bit of sweetness and crunch all over the edges. So grab an egg wash or even a little bit of cream and brush it on the edges of the pie. Super simple. Remember, our grill is going at 350 degrees. You can use any type of wood pellets you like. My favorite and my preference is always gonna be to hickory. So lots of cream, or an egg wash, and then you're gonna go in with some raw sugar. Lots of it. I love that crunch on the outside of the pie. So I am extraordinarily generous with this, all the way around the edges. And hey, if you like smoked nuts or anything else, you can top your pie with those as well. Now, here's the thing. I love salted caramel. So once you've done all of those edges, you have always lots of options to add caramel throughout this entire pie building experience. So I happen to have some salted caramel right here. And I'm gonna do it twice. I'm gonna add it once before I cook and then once to finish off the pie. So salted caramel all over the pie right before we bake it. We've got everything assembled, we're ready to go, so it's time to head to the grill. Our apple salted caramel cheesecake galette is done, and here's how I know. We've got some beautiful golden goodness. The crust is beautifully set, and it's time to take it off the grill. Just like that. Look at that golden goodness. It's bubbling, it's all awesome. And now we're just gonna let it cool down and drizzle more caramel on it. So we're off the grill, we're all done. We're gonna add just a little bit more caramel to this salted apple caramel cheesecake galette. It is so much deliciousness, wood-fired goodness. And here's the thing, for this and many more delicious recipes, go to traegergrills.com/recipes or make sure you have our app.